Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another FuseMeets session. I hope you're all doing really well out there in the cryptoverse. You're here with me, Ian Kane. I'll be your host for today. In this session, we're going to be chatting with Tomas from Volt Finance. So what is Volt Finance? Volt Finance is a DeFi hub and non-custodial platform on the Fuse network that brings cutting-edge financial tools to our users. It was created really to give anyone access to a robust suite of DeFi tools from an all-in-one application. And it's really conveniently accessible on any mobile device as well. So Ethereum has its Uniswap and Fuse has Voltage Finance. So what are we here? We're here today to talk about a couple of things. Voltage is getting a significant facelift. So that's a big focus. That's what we're going to talk about. Fuse Cash is migrating to the new Volt app, and Fuse Dollar V2, which is an upgraded Fuse Dollar stablecoin. We're going to reveal some information about that as well. We've also got a new Volt staking mechanism and some significant UI and UX tweaks to the DApp. So we're going to talk through all this stuff. So we've got loads of things to get through. But before we do all of that, I've got Tomas here with me today. So how you doing, man? Are you good? You having a good day?
Hey, Ian, how are you doing?
I'm all right, man. I'm having a pretty good day. I'm kind of glad it's the end of the week. I'm feeling pretty tired, but yeah, man, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this. How about you? Weekend coming? Any plans?
Yeah, no, it was a super hard week. We had the merge in the middle.
Yep.
It was interesting to see. And yeah, there's a lot of things going on. So yeah, excited to tell more about Voltage, what
Yeah,
has
nice.
been. So let's go for it.
Yeah, man, nice. So we've got loads to get through, but Tomas, Voltage it's had a really busy Q1, Q2. You guys have been flat out, right? And the community's been also super patient, just kind of waiting while you guys have been focused on building. So as I said, the team's been working on many improvements, and now it's time for Tomas to kind of let everybody know what's going on with Voltage and roll out. But before we jump into what's new, let's just quickly, Tomas, if you will, just give us a quick recap of what Voltage has achieved so far.
Okay, so as you all may know, we had some terrible months that we passed, but we managed to do quite well in terms of usage, in terms of volume, in terms of products that we built. It has been some quite difficult months for the whole industry, but we managed to be doing quite well.
Nice.
We managed to get at an all-time high of $12 million in TVL. Our peak volume in one day was $3 million. That's quite good. We launched our new validator that reached like the maximum limit. That was 5 million Fuse tokens.
Nice.
We have more than 5,200 Volt holders, not counting stakers, not counting LP providers. So that's quite good. What else? Well, I'm not sure. Some people like this measure. Some people doesn't. The market cap over TVL, it's less than 1. It's 0.2. That's really good.
Yep.
So yeah, a lot of interesting things going on. Also, we have. Sorry.
As you said as well, like we've come into this bear market, and it's been a difficult situation for most companies and most organizations right now. So it's a case of kind of trying to figure things out, see where the land lies, and steady the ship a little bit as well, I think. So hence why a lot of upgrades, a lot of background work's been happening for Voltage. So as Tomas just said, a lot of cool things been happening so far, but we're here to talk about what's happening with Voltage Finance moving forward mainly. So let's jump into some questions. I got a whole bunch of questions for you, Tomas. I hope you're ready for these. Nothing too tricky, but let's get started on this, man. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Fuse Cash application. So it's going through a facelift and a rebrand, as we call it. Tell us more about this, man. Tell us about the kind of idea behind it. I know we're not going to reveal how it's going to look because we're keeping that a secret, but yeah, just give us a little taste of this facelift and why is it? What's it for? What's happening?
So Fuse Cash used to be an app managed by a different team. Lately, that team handled the app to us, to the DAO. So the DAO is now focusing on getting this app rolling and working really good with a really good user experience. So basically, what we're doing here is we're trying to express and to tell the users what is our vision. And this app, I think, is the best example of it. So on Voltage Finance, we're trying to do DeFi easy for everybody. So for example, somebody that wants to get into crypto and maybe they don't even know how to use Binance, this is going to be easier to use and safer because it's going to be it is non-custodial, right? So what we're looking for in here is to integrate everything we have on the Voltage DEX into the app. So non-experienced users will be able to use the app in their phone without paying for gas, without approving transactions, without approving smart contracts, and without like going into all the difficult stuff that maybe DeFi has right now.
Yeah, for sure. Like all those intricate, we're talking about user onboarding complications here, right, Thomas? We're talking about, we're headed towards a kind of scenario of mass adoption. And we know that in order to do that, we need to abstract away a lot of this blockchain wallet kind of craziness that people don't understand. So that's awesome. I mean, if the Fuse Cash app is going to have these kind of intricate details in, but without the intricate blockchain understanding, sounds really cool. So this is just going to make things easier for people, right? That's the game. That's the end goal here, right?
The end goal here. Yeah, the end goal should be like all your friends that they don't understand anything about crypto, but want to get some, some tokens. They want to hold some tokens and they don't know how to do it. This should be like a super easy way to just download the app, put your credit card on there, and you're good to go.
Nice, man. Okay, cool. So that's like the first stage of things and the very good first place to start is with the user experience, how people get into the app and making it super straightforward for people to jump into DeFi, which is kind of what we want and it's what we need to do. So, all right, very cool. Thanks, Thomas. So that's in process, right? There's a rebranding. I've seen some of the images. Obviously, you've seen them. They're looking pretty sexy. Is there a timeline here where the new users could expect to see something, or is it just kind of stay vigilant and keep watching, or any timeline on this at all?
Super interesting question, since we are having this conversation 1 week before we launch the app. So hopefully for token 2049 we're going to be launching the app. Nice. And everybody will be able to download it. There's going to be a campaign to incentivize some people to use the app and to let them know, or for them to have some experience on
Awesome.
a good experience, I hope, on how to use it. So let's see.
Nice.
Let's see. I hope it's out before the conference.
Yeah, of course, but interacting with people live as well and showing them the application. I mean, that's gold, right? Like having the opportunity even to just talk to someone, it's going to make things a little bit smoother, I can imagine. So that's very cool. All right, nice. So we do have a timeline, but as with all things crypto and blockchain, things could change slightly, but that's the ambition there. So, I mean, one of the things, so moving on a little bit to what's happening, what else is happening with the dApp as well. So as we already know that like ownership and governance are crucial components for every DAO. And in line with this, you guys want to bring in Volt staking, right? So tell us more about Volt staking. What is it? Why is it? And why is it good, Thomas?
So this is what's going on. Lately, we've been thinking about how to give more ownership to users, to all our community, because it's a DAO. We want everybody to have the same power or same voice that we have, on the governance, on like everyday decisions, on yield, on everything. So we thought, what can we change? What can we do? How we can benefit users, and how we can give more power to the users. So this is basically a way that everybody will be able to decide on most aspects on the DAO. The power is going to be better distributed. Like longer engaged users are going to be the ones that will be getting more power, more voting power. And also people, this is what I think it's super, super interesting. Most DeFi protocols, they just put whatever tokens for reward they want, and they put it as they want. Here we are saying the users just choose the farm that you most like, choose the pair that you like, and just go for it. Just vote for that farm, and we will put the rewards in there.
Oh, okay. So it's very community driven. You want to see what your community actually would like to participate in and then take it from there, right? So, yep. Okay, cool. So this is staking within the Voltage application itself. So this is the staking of Volt tokens to earn other tokens, right? And also to earn more Volts. Is that correct?
So regarding other tokens, because we are focusing on getting the Fuse ecosystem to grow, we're gonna
Mhm.
be. This is something to be announced maybe later this year. But we are about to announce something big on the Volt staking mechanism that
Okay.
is gonna like it's gonna be able to distribute other tokens to the users of new projects launching on Fuse. So this way we're gonna give also new projects the ability to set up a new farm for the pair, so we can incentivize liquidity on their pair, and they're gonna give us some tokens to airdrop users.
Nice. So this is the normal kind of thing we see with DEXs, where you're doing sort of platform launches, IDOs, things like this, where you're launching projects out there through the DEX. Sounds very logical and very cool. Brings more liquidity into the Fuse ecosystem and gives those projects more opportunity to launch as well. I like that. How about the kind of, so we're talking about staking, we're talking about incentives. So if you've got a whole bunch of Volt and you want to stake that, is it a fixed reward system for this? How does that work? Or is it flexible? What's happening there, Thomas?
So this is how it works. Depends how long do you stake and
Hmm.
how many tokens, but the longer the better, of course. And also the rewards you will be getting are going to be fees that we collect from the DEX. So as the volume goes up,
Yeah.
more fees are going to be distributed. So if you're going to be staking there and the volume is going up, you're going to be getting better yield. This is 100% like self-sustainable yield, and this is what we are also looking for in Voltage.
Nice, man. Nice. So, okay, cool. And are there any vesting periods or anything? And I'm asking this because I actually really like vesting periods. I like the idea of locking up tokens. I think it's quite good for sustainability of DEXs. How are you guys handling this, or is it a kind of in and out system? What's happening with that?
This is gonna be this you're gonna be needing to lock your tokens for a
Yep.
period of time. We have
Hmm.
till 2 years for now. We are
Hmm.
thinking about expanding it for 4 years, but I think 2 years makes sense. So we're gonna be taking a lot of Volt tokens out of circulation,
Yep.
and yeah, that's what we're trying to do,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly, right. Like you're trying to improve the position of the Volt token by removing its supply and placing it into staking. So this makes a lot of sense. So there's a long-term ambition with this Voltage campaign. And also for investors here, they should be thinking long-term, not short-term, right? They're coming
Of
in to
course.
support. Yeah, they're coming in to support. Yeah, we say, in the DeFi world, things get a bit strange, right? So, we're not so much looking for those quick money grabbers. We're looking for investors that want to support Voltage and improve the liquidity position there as well, right?
If you want to
Okay.
get
Go on,
yeah.
Thomas. Go on. What were you going to
No,
say?
if you just want to get like some voting power into Voltage, or if you want to just get some yield, just stay for us for a long period of time. It's not just come like we're not looking for yield farmers that come in and out of Fuse for 1 or 2 weeks. We're looking for something more sustainable and long term, basically.
Exactly, right. And I think it's important to get that out there. That's what we're talking about. It's not some quick get rich quick kind of thing. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we do. That's not what Voltage does. That's not what Fuse does. So yeah, important to get that out as well. Another big thing. Now, something that unless you've had your head under the rocks for the last year, you should probably have known about was all this kind of stuff with stablecoins that was going on, that was really kicked off by the Terra UST stablecoin collapse. Now, I mentioned at the beginning, Fuse Dollar V2. So currently, FUSD, which is the Fuse ecosystem stablecoin, is pegged to USDC at a 1-to-1 ratio. So in light of what's been going on in the stablecoin market, and especially the UST situation, we decided to change. Well, Voltage have decided to change the whole story around FUSD. So, Thomas, tell us a little bit more about this. Like the Medium article covered it quite lightly. Let's dive into this. Stablecoins are super important right now. What's happening
So
here?
so here we have like a lot of different situations that we came to a conclusion to launch this Fuse Dollar V2. So we have Fuse Dollar V1, as you said, that it's pegged 1-to-1 to USDC. It's a peg swap, as we call it. We also had UST depegging. And last week we have the announcement from Binance that they are going to be focusing more on BUSD.
Yeah.
So there's like a stablecoin war in the whole ecosystem, in the crypto ecosystem, that we don't want to be part of. And there's also another issue that I wanted to tackle like several months ago, that was liquidity fragmentation.
Yeah.
I think liquidity should be as efficient as possible. So if you're going to be having, like, for the same Fuse token or Volt token, like 3 different liquidity pairs, and those 3 liquidity pairs are like 3 different stablecoins, doesn't make a lot of sense, because on a big swap you're going to be having a lot of slippage, right?
Yep.
But what if those 3 pairs, we merge it into one? So we will have, instead of Fuse USDT, Fuse USDC, and Fuse BUSD, only Fuse FUSD, right? So here you will be able to perform much like bigger swaps with less significant slippage.
A lot less, right? Yeah, because you're not
Also,
going to. Sorry, go on.
yeah. This also works like as a depegging mechanism. So, for example, one stablecoin is going to be backed by 3 different stablecoins. So, in case one of the stablecoins depeg, there's a depegging mechanism that we can activate in order to mitigate the risk of losing, the value of your token. So these are some of the issues that we wanted to tackle. Also, it's going to be easier for everybody using the Fuse network, because, for example, if you're going to be focusing on payments, which token we will be using for payments, right? Or if we want to onboard like a new user on crypto, like they don't understand the difference between USDT, USDC, or DAI or whatever. So this is also a problem we wanted to tackle. And it's worth mentioning that this stablecoin is going to be 100% managed by the DAO. So the users will be able to vote on the weights on which tokens they wanna use to back this stablecoin, and if they want to make any changes, they are more than welcome to propose on the DAO and vote. And we are going to be deploying those changes.
Nice. So for a couple of things important there, I guess. So you've covered all of them. I think for that kind of point of sale, microtransactions, and using, something that Fuse Network is all about is real world payments. That's what we're here for. That's what we're trying to install. So being able to use a stable coin is massively important in this ecosystem, because we can't use crypto to pay for bread when the price of the loaf of bread might move from €1 to €10 on a daily basis, right? We've got to transact in stable coins. What about in terms of having a really solid stable coin in the Fuse ecosystem, Thomas? What does that do for traders? Like, just tell people a little bit about that, like how it's going to help liquidity in the ecosystem.
Great. So this is the thing. We really like the anchor model, because we saw that there was a lot of users outside crypto joining the ecosystem because of yield on the stablecoin, right? You used to have 20% yield on the stablecoin. That may be a little bit crazy and not sustainable. But what we're looking for in here is that just by you holding FUSD, you will be receiving some yield on those FUSD. How this is going to work, since you're going to be, like, for one FUSD, you're going to be having part USDC, part BUSD, part USDT. That is going to be working as liquidity for the stable swap. So somebody coming into Fuse and wanting to swap from BUSD into USDT, or for whatever reason they want to, you will be receiving some fees on that swap. So instead of us having swap and stable swap as we currently have, we will only have one swap feature that will be work for everything. It's gonna be like you're getting an LP token instead of you getting a regular token. So you will be getting some yield on it.
Nice. Okay, so there's incentives there as well. Very cool. All right, so it's cool, kind of like, everything we're talking about here today, Thomas, and we'll get to this at the end, it's all about improving the Voltage Finance application to be a better, easier to use system, right? And that's what it's all about. But one kind of primary objective of Volt Finance is to create easy to use DeFi tools. That's what we said at the beginning. And however, it's still quite hard, a lot of work towards mass adoption if it's going to be achieved. But one crucial part of DeFi is providing liquidity. That is fundamentally, as all listeners probably understand, that a decentralized bank relies on liquidity from its users in order to function. So to make this whole process painless, Voltage wants to bring in this feature called a ZAP feature, which I read about this morning, and it sounds uber cool. But Thomas, I need you to tell me a bit more about this, because this sounds cool. Tell us a bit more about ZAP. What is this?
So to be aligned with our vision to onboard like non-experienced users, like our duty is to find better ways to offer like better products to offer users, right? And easier to use. So what we're looking with this app is focused SAP is focused on the Volt app, right? So we understand that users on the Voltage app on the desktop, they're experienced users and they really know how to provide liquidity. But what happens is we are targeting a different audience with the app, with the mobile app. So as we integrate SAP into the app, users with no experience will be able to provide liquidity just with a single button, instead of how difficult it is to provide liquidity for somebody that didn't do it before. So here, just by holding one token, you will be able to provide liquidity to wherever you want.
Wow.
So
one-sided token liquidity as well. So no creation of pairs, nothing
so
required.
we will be doing that in the backend. So you will, for example, you will be having Fuse, and you want to provide liquidity on FUSD Volt, for example. So you just choose FUSD Volt, you approve a transaction, and that's it on the app. And that's it.
So you guys will deal with the liquidity provision. You guys will create the LP tokens. So that sounds super easy, Thomas. That sounds very cool. How about getting out of the liquidity position? Also easy, just the same, one click?
Same one click.
Nice, man. So this is something that's could potentially change the game, because I've written so many articles about liquidity providing, and I get it and I understand it. But even when I'm trying to explain it to people, the first questions they ask are like, does it need to be equal? Do I need an equal value of F? And is it dollar value? Or is it token value? And all these questions come out. This sounds great. This is a very cool feature. So is this something that's going to be live quite soon on the app, or what's the kind of timeline with this?
Everything we're talking in here is hopefully will be deployed before the end of the year. So
nice. Wow. Okay, cool. So this will be an interesting feature to see. It will be interesting for a few reasons, to see how people, number one, how more experienced DeFi users interact with it, and then also to see if it works well with these kind of new guys, right? And these new users, to see if it's rewarding for them. Very cool. Very cool. Interesting. All right. So these are the kind of core changes that are happening with Volt Finance right now, right? So we've got this complete rebranding and facelift, and bringing in Volt staking and VVolt, which is that system, and the Fuse Dollar V2. And then also the creation of these easier tools. So Zap, which we just spoke about, which is really cool. Like that, I'm really quite excited to try that out. Even though I know how to do the other one, this does sound far more easy. So yeah. So loads of significant changes. But I guess the big thing here, Thomas, is why are you doing all of this? What is the big picture? Like, what do all these changes bring to Voltage and the Fuse ecosystem as well? Like, it's all very well to do this, but what benefits do people get here, Thomas? Tell us a bit more. Like, why are we doing this?
So we have many issues that we are trying to tackle with all these products, but the big picture here would be trying to help the Fuse ecosystem and trying to get the Fuse ecosystem growing faster and getting much more developers and user into it. It's a great community that what we have. It's a great network. Fuse network is a great one, but we're trying to do everything we can to get it growing faster.
Okay.
I feel that's my mission, is to, of course, is managing the DAO, of course, is getting new users onboarding into DeFi, but getting the Fuse ecosystem growing, it's like something that I'm really into, that we really want to solve. And by doing that thing that we are going to be announcing in a couple of weeks about the airdrop, that's going to help a lot of developers come into Fuse. I'm not sure if you spoke with the Fuse Charge team, but they're also with the same mission. So there's a lot of interesting things, and I'm looking for a lot of new projects coming into Fuse in the upcoming months. The farm feature that we are launching is going to help new projects coming into Fuse to set up their farm without asking us to do it for them, and without us putting money to incentivize their liquidity. They will be able to do it themselves.
So you're kind of creating a format where it's kind of self-serve, whereas in the past we've had to hold hands and we've had to work with people and we've had to even build things with them. But we're kind of in this situation now where it's like we've got all the tools that you need to come and launch on Fuse, right? And this is just helping even more. So it's very exciting. Like, I've been watching Voltage for a long time and I've seen how you guys have moved forward with the process. And I think this is one of the most exciting times to kind of see this rebrand and how it will come out. But Thomas, let me kind of pick your brain a little bit on got a couple of minutes left on the call, and I just want to get your impressions of how you see the landscape out there now in regards to real world adoption, in regards to DeFi, in regards to what we're seeing. We're getting a lot of regulation, we're getting a lot of changes, we're getting supposedly mass adoption through gaming. Like, how do you see it right now, man? Share some of your thoughts of how you see the next kind of 12 months playing out in this space.
Interesting. So, well, we've seen that with the merge, there were not a lot of excited people outside of crypto, and I thought it was going to be like the biggest event on the year, and of course it wasn't. So we're currently in the build market, I like to call it. So we have a lot of interesting team building super good, really good products. So what I'm seeing here is a change in, first of all, people are not, I don't think people right now, with what's going on in the world, they're ready to get into crypto shortly, right?
Okay.
Because there's a lot of economic issues. But as soon as we start getting out of those, I see this ecosystem booming again, and booming harder than ever before. We have a lot to offer. Yeah. We have a lot to offer, and I don't see that adoption is big right now. We have less than a $2 trillion market cap, and if you compare that with any other industry, it's super small. We can really solve a lot of issues in the world. I'm from Argentina. It's a third world country, and you wouldn't believe the amount of people that crypto changed their lives. Also to me.
Tell us specifically, because Argentina is one place where we see a lot of adoption and a lot of love for cryptocurrency, but some people perhaps don't know why, and it's because of sort of ridiculous inflation and other things. But yeah, tell us a bit about that, like what you see there and how that can change things.
So this is what's going on. You have a huge government, super socialist, that only cares about buying votes. So we have increasing poverty, 70% of poverty. We have 70% of poverty, maybe 25% of people that are out of poverty, but they can live with just the amount of money, and then a 5%, the rest 5%, they do well, but not so.
Yeah.
So also we have a lot of difficulties to buy US dollars. We have a lot of difficulties to invest. Everything is complicated in here.
Opportunity is reduced, right? It's very difficult to actually do.
Yeah, they just like to control everything. They like to tax everything. We have more than 70% of inflation per year, so it's quite difficult to, it's super difficult to do everything. And this type of products that gives financial inclusion are super popular nowadays, because most of DeFi products, you don't need to KYC. The government doesn't know that you are using those, crypto products. You can transact with everybody without paying stupid 70% or 50% taxes for a transaction, and you can really save in dollars or Bitcoin or whatever it is that doesn't get 70% inflation per year. So of course we have a lot of inflation in dollars, but I prefer 10% than a 70 something percent, right? Of course, I don't recommend anybody anything, no financial advice, but I also would like to get 10% on my saving currency, right? That also I think is crazy. So I think we now Ethereum is deflationary. Bitcoin has a super low inflation. We are less, I think, 1 year from the next halving, so that's going to be huge also. So we have all fundamental reasons why this is about to explode. Yeah, we're
getting closer to this moment. But for people like me and you, Thomas, this is my 6th, 7th year in the space. It's we've been getting closer for so many years that it feels a bit different right now. Maybe I'm just being naive.
Yeah. Also, I think regulation is not bad. I don't like regulation at all, but I feel regulation is going to help a lot of people get into crypto, a lot of big institutions. I think that's going to be healthy in some way. you will be getting a lot of banks getting into crypto and getting like hard into crypto, and that's gonna help a lot the industry grow. Retail, a lot of people don't like retail, but I think retail is good because once you got your first like tokens, you never come back.
You don't go
Like,
back. You don't go back. It's
yeah.
so correct, Thomas. So correct. Like, but that's another important reason why dApps like Voltage Finance onboarding people into the system and then being able to get tokens quickly, easily, cheaply, without these ridiculous fees to deal with, and all those, what do we call them? Blockers. Like literally, they're blockers that make people scared of crypto, right? Like that. You've always feel like you've got to be a bit of a genius to jump into crypto, and people get scared, right? So
I think you need to be a little bit of a genius to use MetaMask. You need to be like kind of engineer, or you need to be like using MetaMask literally for a long time. I have a lot of friends. They study mathematics, physics, or they're economists, and they don't know what the hell is going on these days. So I feel a little bit sorry about that because I don't think it's that difficult, but I know that there's a lot of entry barriers. So that's what we're trying to solve.
I mean, in my opinion, I think that the entry barriers of UX are the biggest problem, the stumbles there, the ones that we spoke about, like the liquidity providing, logging into the app even. Like, how will you be able to get into the Fuse, into this app, Thomas? Will it be easy access?
So in the Volt app, you won't need any KYC.
Okay.
You have cloud recovery. So you have two ways. You have like the advanced one that is the seed phrase, right? All those weird words that you need to write and save in a like piece of paper. But you will also have like cloud recovery. So if you don't want to go through that difficult, process, you just set up like 2 passwords, and in case like you lost the app, you get your account back with those passwords. Also worth mentioning that on the app, you won't be needing to pay for gas fees. So it's going to be like a gasless app, also non-custodial. So not your keys, not your crypto. Here is your crypto. So your keys, your crypto, your password, no gas, easy for everybody.
I mean,
also you have on and off ramp to the app. So you will be able with your credit card to buy crypto or to sell crypto and get money into your bank account.
Wow, just straight in and out, off, on ramp, simple. Bam, nice. This sounds really exciting, Thomas, and I think something that's going to be very cool for the ecosystem that we need to see, especially in the Fuse ecosystem. So this is awesome to hear. And yeah, I'm super excited to see how this plays out. And I hope your guys deliver it by Singapore 2049, because they've got to pull that out, right? Yeah. So just to wrap things up, Thomas, I just want to get people now, after watching this, may want to find out more, may want more information, or may want to know where to hit you up. There's links been going across the screen. I'll put them all in the description of the video too. But where can people reach out to you? Like if they want to have a conversation about Voltage, or maybe they want to ask some questions, how can they do that?
Everybody's free to ping me on Telegram. I'm Thomas Voltage on all Fuse groups or Voltage groups. There's also Elvis. Elvis is the community lead. He can connect me to everybody, or you can speak with Elvis. He's a super nice and experienced guy. He has a lot of knowledge on crypto and DeFi. Also on Twitter, I feel you can find me also as Thomas Voltage. Otherwise, just look into Telegram. We can jump on a call. We can chat through there. And yeah, that's it. I'm working for the community. That's for the community and the industry.
So you're always there. Nailed it, Thomas. Nailed it. You're good. You're good at these. You're good at these AMAs. So you're pretty good at this. So all right, cool. So we've covered everything, and the whole point of this chat today was to outline the significant changes that are coming for the Voltage app. I'd really implore you to go and check this out. Wait for the new version to come and then download it into your mobile device and see how you get on with it. If you don't understand crypto at all, give it a try. If you're a native, also give it a try. You might find that doing things quickly and easier is actually more preferential than what we do, right? It's so yeah, check it out. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you for your time today, man. I really appreciate you coming in, spending time with me to chat about Voltage and inform everybody about what's going on. Super exciting stuff. Next couple of weeks are going to be very critical for you, right? You're going to be busy, a little bit busy, I can imagine. Yeah, just a little bit busy. So yeah, there's lots of exciting stuff happening. So again, thank you to the watchers for tuning in. And yeah, as always, we have more shows every week where Fuse meets. We sit down with different projects in the Fuse ecosystem. We dive into what they're doing, what they've done, and where they're headed. So yeah, come and join us, because another reason we do these shows is to find out kind of Voltage Finance is an application that runs on blockchain, but here's the guy that's actually responsible for kind of working with it day to day, and you've just heard all from him. So it's a good thing to do to understand the people behind the projects. I think it's part of my research process, actually, Thomas. You know, people talk about white papers. I want to see the faces of the people that are working there. So it kind of helps me as well. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in and watching today. Really appreciate that. If you don't know about Fuse Network, I'll put all the links in the description. You can go and check us out on what we do. All the voltage links will be there as well. And as I say, more shows coming soon. So, and also I'm going to say it, shameless, hit that like button and make sure you subscribe as well, guys. We need those subscriptions. So once again, thank you, Thomas. Really appreciate your time. And
Thank you everybody for joining.
All good, man. Thank you very much. And that's it from us today. So take care, guys, and we'll see you all very soon.